I'm James DeBacco.
And I'm Susie Hess. Our Stories Matter podcast was born out of a need for a brave space for people who experience the criminal punishment system to share their truths. This is Our Stories Matter, brought to you by Trauma Informed LA. Our Stories Matter celebrates the complex lived experiences of activists and healers by sharing their inspiring stories. In Season 4 of Our Stories Matter, we will focus on two organizations that are dismantling the 46,000 collateral consequences, Homeboy Industries and Forestry and Fire Recruitment Program.
Welcome to Our Stories Matter. I'm James DeBacco, and I'm the co-host, and I'm here today with Susie Hess and with Damon Cook. Damon Cook is sitting in for Martin Leva, who would be here today, but unfortunately he is in San Diego at this time. So, Damon Cook is also the co-founder and chief executive officer of Uncuffed Project, an organization in Northern California that helps with the dismantling of the 46,000 consequences. So, I'm going to turn it over now to Susie Hess.
So I'm excited to have you, Damon, of course, sitting in with us. And I'm excited to meet with you, Stephanie, today. So on our episode today, we will be speaking with Stephanie Lane. Stephanie grew up system impacted and spent much of her childhood in and out of jails and prison camps. She was released from prison approximately 3.5 years ago, and she is currently working at Homeboy Industries as a housing navigator case manager. We are so happy to have you.
Yes, we are.
Lovely.
So I thought maybe we could start off with, so we all know mass incarceration is an epidemic in the United States. The incarceration of women in federal, state, and local correctional facilities has increased 475% over the past 40 years, according to the Sentencing Project just last year. So I'm wondering if we can start off with that in terms of, how did you arrive at Homeboys?
Well, I arrived at Homeboys because Homeboys arrived to me. Father Boyle came into the lowest parish, and that was Boyle Heights. And it was called Aliso Village at that time. It was a project that had 8 gangs, and Father Boyle came to Dolores Mission, and that was the Jesuit priest, little church, or whatever that was within the projects. And when he came there, it was 1980-something. I was born in 1989. So he came probably a couple of years before I was born. And my father and them was in the projects at that time when gang violence and stuff like that. So me as a kid growing up, I used to see him ride around on his bike and trying to bring people into Homeboys. And they had Homeboy Bakery and stuff like that. And I used to shoot bean shooters at him thinking that he was a police officer when I was a kid. Oh, well, not, but yeah, that's how I got involved with Homeboy Industries. It was just something that was brought into my neighborhood at the time.
Wow, that's powerful. Just listening to what you just said. You grew up in a situation and you see a man riding a bicycle wearing all black and a white collar. You assume that it was a police officer because at that time, LAPD, even though they say they're blue, their uniforms are actually dark or black.
Oh, yeah,
right?
absolutely. So we had our own police. We had Housing Authority PD. Oh, and at that time, they just rode around their cars. So when I seen a young white guy, blonde hair, and you on a bike with black pants and a white T-shirt on with a bow talking about that you were Jesuit priest, we had stories. And my grandmother lived on the 3rd floor. And the top floor after that, it was a flat, and it had rocks and stuff. And that's how we policed our neighborhoods. So I used to sit at the edge, me and my friends, and we made bean shooters. So every time he'll drive past to talk to my grandmother, and she was a project activist, she was well known within the community, I would shoot rocks at him. And that was my way of saying why you talking to him that's a policeman? And I ended up coming to find out that this man had a bakery and what he was doing to the community and was helping out within the community. So that's how I ended up being introduced to Father Boyle.
Nice. James, what do you feel about that?
Man, I'm still, I'm just blown away, man. The story and the history of Father Boyle and Boyle Heights, and the tremendous effort that he undertook to bring the people of the community together, with Dolores Mission. And it's just fascinating to hear your account of it as a grown woman recounting what it was like as a child to basically grow up with Father Boyle.
Yeah, it was funny. G started his whole setup with the Homeboy Bakery. That was the first thing that we had. My grandmother, the unit that I lived in, on our 3rd floor, we can look across, and I can see the church, and I can see the school, and I can see the bakery. on the other side. Like, so we was there when the bakery got set on fire and things like that or whatever. My grandma was like a big activist. Like I said, with Father Boy, she still to this day got like it's like a bear with this pen, and it says, "I support Father Greg." When they was trying to like demolish this man when he came into our community trying to like assist, because it was 8 gangs, like I said. So it's Hispanic gangs and it was black gangs, and everybody is feuded within each other within this nature that was right there in a sense. So it was a different type of environment.
I'm sitting here just reflecting on what that must have been like for Father G to be riding on a bicycle. I mean, I'm a white guy, and if I put on all black and a white collar, I'm pretty sure I'd be freaking shot at too,
Yeah.
So, I can only imagine the effort and the tenacity and the courage. Not only did Father Boyle have to come into the neighborhood to begin the engagement and the process of healing the community, but then the community also in turn engaging and healing Father Boyle.
Yeah, like G is a different type of breed. You feel me? Like Pops is something like unordinary. Like I feel like he not even from this space. Like he from out of space or something. Like he got his own planet and he just came and just blessed us and he picked the projects to come to. You feel me? Like and like sitting where he at and like the people that he assists now and how broad like Homeboys is and like how many people like gravitate to this man and his story. Like and he an ordinary guy, but to us like he our angel in disguise. You know what I'm saying? Like. And that man is so humble, and that's G, that's Pops, and we all look up to this man, like, and I'm forever grateful. My grandma still to this day, like, she feel like he the savior, or like saved me, in a sense, like, but in all actuality, G is just a person that came and he wasn't scared. He wasn't scared of nothing, and no was not an option for him on no levels. When I saw, I forever respect him, and I always be grateful for him.
Yeah, so he's become like a part of the family for life.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And the interesting thing about this, when I reflect on it, is that Homeboy Industries is an iconic image, and it's an iconic symbol of empathy.
Yeah.
So you work at Homeboy Industries.
Yeah.
What is that like for you? And what is it that you do at Homeboy Industries?
Right now?
Yeah.
So right now I'm a housing case manager at Homeboy Industries. So I help with like a lot of community clients. And so community clients and also trainees there, I help them, like, we basically help them pay their rent. We'll help them pay, like, their moving, get them in, like, sustainable housing. If we have, like, a crisis or an emergency situation, like, they come to me and they know for sure, like, if you come to Puka, like, it's going to get done. Like, you're not going to leave out of here unsatisfied. And I'm not going to place you somewhere where you don't want to be. And I'm not going to place you somewhere where I wouldn't want to be. I wouldn't care what it is or whatnot. So our housing department just started up. We've probably been running for probably, like, a year and some change now. So we get in like the motion, but we help a lot of people. And housing is like the number one thing that you need within like reentry to a sustainable reentry, like getting out of prison or any type of institution.
And I think you hit it right there. It's sustainable reentry.
Absolutely.
So when we look at the men and women who are coming into Homeboy Industries, and they don't have a vision of what sustainable is until they actually talk to somebody like you.
Yeah.
So when you're in that process and you're trying to communicate what is going to be something that might be a challenge for somebody that's coming out who's trying to get back on their feet after,
And I want to add something in there.
Yeah.
I think the pink elephant, right, is a woman. Stephanie and Ivy are the two women on this season, which is why also I'm really excited to meet with you. It's a whole different beast as you're a woman coming out of prison and looking for employment and housing, right?
Yeah. It is. Like, so I'm going to just speak for myself, and as a woman within myself, it's pride. Like, and a woman that's, like, been within the system, we don't ask for help. We always figure out the help. You know what I'm saying? So coming out and doing, like, a long stretch, whatever it is, like, housing is, like, the main thing. Like how Ivy spoke on her podcast. She got out from the county with nothing. Mm-hmm. You feel me? It's like that 10 years was washed. It was like you never did none of that time. So it's not, you got to figure it out. How is she supposed to figure that out when she ain't had no assistance? In her mind, she had life.
Right.
So she never planned on getting out. So now you push this lady out with $20 in her pocket and you tell her she got to survive and figure it out?
Yeah.
Like, what type of system is we really, like, dealing with? And how are you supposed to rehabilitate some person like that? So she comes to Homeboys. And at the time, by the grace of God, I was in a position to able to help my friend. She came right to me in the paper suit. And all I could tell, I looked at Ivy and I looked at Looney, and my main thing was, come back tomorrow and I'm going to make it make sense. I said at that moment, I met Elvia. and Elvia was from GSC, and she had came in and she was helping everybody get like Section 8 at the time. The window had opened up, so she was putting us in for like these emergency housing vouchers and trying to help a lot of lifers that was getting out, because at that time all these lifers was getting out, and these is men and women that's getting out from being down 25, 27 years with no plan of no exit route of coming home back to society. They was mentally stuck in an institution. Nobody was set up to come back out here into this free world to understand what life was supposed to be. So Elvia has been an angel for us because she's helped a lot of lifers sustain housing and learn how to like financial literacy and stuff like that. So when Ivy came, I told her that next day, I'm going to set you up with Elvia. I had just met Elvia, literally. And I was like a bully for Elvia because everybody wanted to see her. And I had just got put in the housing department, and I was just standing there just making sure that her appointments was set up right. So it was like, if you want to see this person, you're going to see this person. Nobody's just going to rush in and just come talk to you. I needed housing, but I wasn't going to take what I needed to bypass the next person's needs. I put my needs to the side, and I asked her, can you talk to my friend? She just got out. She just be 60 to life. We couldn't help Looney because Looney didn't have no papers. But Ivy had a route, and Ivy had a vision, and Ivy always been focused, even when we was walking them tracks on that yard. So it was like, I take my backseat for her. And it helped her.
Yeah.
And Elvia loved her, and she took her honesty, and she rocked with her, and look at Ivy now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like stories like that, but as a woman, it's hard because Ivy was so prideful.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like I tell everybody, you ain't gonna lose a pound or gain a pound with swallowing your pride. Like if you need help, can't nobody help you if you ain't gonna help yourself. That's and open up your mouth.
Yeah, I mean, we were just talking about that in the previous episode, and and being able to swallow your pride is a huge thing. When you're coming out of incarceration, when you're coming out of prison, and you're faced with these challenges of simply trying to find your footing because you're hit with so many roadblocks, And I'm just curious, particularly for women, the type of roadblocks that you face, right? What do you think is the greatest challenge when women come into Homeboy Industries?
The greatest challenge with women's coming into Homeboy Industries is finding themselves and not getting cooped up in like your surrounding. Because Homeboy Industries is grounded for men. Let's just be real.
Yeah.
It was a men setup. It was designed for men. At that time, the percentage of women was not the amount of the men percentage that was going into gangs or that was going into prisons.
Yeah.
At that, when Father Greg started his whole Homeboy Industries and stuff like that.
Right.
So now women is the majority instead of the minority. And it's fucked up.
Yeah.
Excuse my language, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
So when women come in, they come with this pride in a sense, and that's my main thing. I run a women's group. Me and Ivy, we run a women's empowerment group there at Homeboys. And my main thing, and I'll tell the ladies, is when you come into this program, like, let go of your pride and let go of this persona that you have to be so hard. Because you don't have to be hard. You've been hard your entire life. You've been struggling. You've been surviving. Come to this place and thrive. Because Homeboys is an open book. You gonna write your pages up in here.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do, they gonna allow you to do. Whatever it is that you want to do. And that's where people get the misconception about Homeboys. Homeboys is a platform for you to either grow in this business or you to succeed upside of here. It's up to you what you want to do. They gonna give you the tools and necessity that you need to do to thrive. Whatever that it is. And they gonna support you at the end of the day. But women, we come in there and we come like, oh, it's all these men, or Homeboys is not for me. Homeboys is exactly for you. And I'm a woman, and I'm here to tell you. I done went through it from as a juvenile to a woman today.
Yeah.
It's here for you. And you gonna make it what you gonna make it. Like I tell everybody, Homeboy gonna work it if you work it. If you ain't gonna work it, it ain't gonna work for you. You gonna leave these doors, and you gonna come back. I'm tired of being a revolving door.
Yeah, I understand that. Damon, what are your thoughts on that?
So powerful. So many thoughts, right? Everything you're saying resonates. I'm a formerly incarcerated person myself. I just got out from doing 32 years.
Oh, God is good. Congratulations.
All the time. But I think about everything you just said, particularly the women.
Yeah.
And some of the things and some of the anecdotes and some of the phraseology you used, I really can feel, right? It touched me in a different way. And so watching this and listening to you, because you came full circle. You threw rocks at the father, right? You came full circle, and now you call him Pops.
Yeah, that's Pops.
That's full circle in that, right? There's love and healing in that.
Absolutely.
Right? Because he maintained his consistency, and you grew into that.
Absolutely.
Understanding that this is bigger than you.
Absolutely.
And now look at you. Father G, now you're doing your thing. You're Puka, right? So they, Madam Puka now, okay, Sister Puka, helping, doing the people. The same thing Father G showed you. Now you're showing the same love.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. It's a
That
mirror.
is powerful.
And a lot of us, and I know it'd be funny, like when G see me, or even like when we text, we got like a crazy text thread. Like, I understand, like, and I always tell him, like, I finally get it. Like, I understand it. Like, because don't get me wrong, I am not your project homegirl. I'm not your project homie. I've disrespected that place in multiple ways that I can never repay back, but it was within my growth. And he was a person that allowed me to be this person with this mud on my face and still had the audacity to still put the water over and cleanse me off. Like, baby, it don't matter what you did. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still see you. Like, and I still love you. And no matter what you did, like, you still this individual, and you are able to be much greater than what I can see today. Like, so I'm going to always give praise to Pops. Like, on God, because I wouldn't be the woman that I am today, and I wouldn't be able to sit here to have this conversation with y'all and to really, like, be centered and just be, like, calm within my growth. Like, this me. Right. And can't nobody change that. No. Like, straight up.
I love it.
No, we're not. Like,
it's beautiful.
You got to respect it at the end of the day.
I do.
And you are an amazing human being. And I'm wondering, in terms of employment for women, what would you say about a woman who is about to come home and navigating all of this as a woman?
As a woman, it's funny you say that, because I got a couple of friends right now that's getting like dates that's coming up, and they so nervous.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, all I can tell them is, I came home to nothing. And I didn't know how I was going to navigate, but I knew I wasn't going to fail. And I knew going back to prison wasn't an option for me. So it was like, I had to mentally tell myself, like, whatever it was that I was going to do, I was going to put my all into it. And you just got to just believe in yourself at the end of the day. And that's what it naturally is. If you don't believe in yourself, there's nothing that you're going to be able to accomplish. I don't care what it is. If I was standing on the corner selling apples and oranges, if I believe I'm going to go outside and I'm going to make $200 today, I'm going to make that $200 a day. Because I'm going to believe in myself within myself on what I'm going to give out to these people, that somebody is going to buy it from me.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And it's the belief system. And a lot of times we doubt ourselves as women, or we tell ourselves, I can't do this, or I'm not worthy of this.
Yeah.
You're worthy to accomplish whatever that it is. I don't care what God putting on your shoulder or what you putting on your own shoulder.
Yes.
At the end of the day, you got to believe in yourself and just know that you are worthy to accomplish whatever it is that you set your mind to. And I tell every woman in my women's class, set you goals, daily goals, and knock them off. Once you start knocking off these daily goals, these goals that you're making for 5 months, 6 months, a year from now, 6 months from now, that's easy.
Yeah.
Because you done knocked down these everyday goals that you done made that you thought that you couldn't even accomplish within that day.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But I believe within myself, and that's my big thing is belief. Like, belief gonna take you a long way, any individual or not.
It's heavy, huh?
It is.
Heavy.
I'm sorry.
No,
that's great.
In a great way.
Yeah.
I'm sitting over here feeling it, the self-worth that you have, but it's more than that. It's the empathy that you exude for others, because you've walked it, you've lived it, you've experienced it, and you're giving and you're reaching out to people if they want to take it.
Right.
You're giving it away for free, and I admire that. I really do.
The belief that you have in yourself, right? This was the theme, the running theme. And I like the fact that you just gave it to them the way you received it.
Absolutely.
So that reciprocation is what moves this needle, right? It moves the narrative.
Absolutely.
And for you, the walking testimony, Puka, I am proud of you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
We just met, and I'm already feeling it all,
I
right?
appreciate you.
I do.
It took me a minute to get here, man. I'm going every day. But it's a work in progress. And like I say, if you work it, it's going to work. It ain't got no other option but to work. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, these people is millionaires and billionaires. I was reading this book when I was like, The 7 Habits of Successful People.
Stephen Covey.
Absolutely.
Okay.
This is my 3rd time reading it. One time I read it when I was in a hole doing the shoe turn. My 2nd time I read it when I was on the yard. Me and my significant other, we was reading it back and forth. My 3rd time is since I've been home, and it sit on my desk today. And I go back and forth, and I still got these notes. And this is the book I brought home from prison, that I got in prison.
Okay.
And it's always taught me about, like, millionaires and billionaires. Like, they set these, like, plans and these goals for individuals to work for them. They don't work it. They work it for other people.
Yeah.
So why am I sitting here working something that ain't working for me when I know what worked for me?
Yeah.
If I believe what worked for me, and I know, and I've been in these situations where I believed it, and things done happen, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's where I'm just at today. Like, I can't keep fumbling. All that effort that I done put into everything that I done put into made me to this individual that other people respect. I need to put that effort and belief within myself that I need to respect for myself and the individual that I want to grow into be, the woman that I want to be today. Where I'm proud for to say, like, I am Stephanie Lane. Like, this is Stephanie Lane. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be that individual no more. Like, it happened. It got me there. Them is my steps within my ladder. I always say, like, when you say trauma, I have a thing with trauma, that word trauma. Like, people use that word trauma and they want it to be like, oh, look at me, I've been through trauma. And I respect that. Some people, you're going to be set like that. But me, trauma has always been like another step on my ladder that's allowed me to thrive to be the woman that I am today. I don't look at that trauma as a default. I needed that trauma.
Right.
If I didn't have that trauma, I don't know who I would have been today.
Right.
I don't know who I'd be right now sitting here talking to y'all.
Yeah.
That's my gas.
Yeah.
Right.
And I remember that trauma. I process that trauma, and I understand that trauma. And that's where people don't understand is certain things happen to you because if it didn't happen to you, who to say who would have been you today?
Right.
Who to say who would have been you today? Who to say would have been you today? You needed that trauma. Embrace that trauma. Understand that trauma. Because if you don't understand that trauma, you ain't going to understand what God got for you at the end of the day. You ain't going to understand your prosperous. You ain't going to understand what you're supposed to be. He put you through that storm for a reason. It's a lesson.
Yeah.
And understand that blessing. And I'm forever grateful for every lesson, every struggle. Oh, God.
Yeah, love it.
On everything. I'm going to just be real with y'all today. I ain't going to lie to you.
I really appreciate that. So back to Stephen Covey and what you learned.
I love it. I love
Like,
this
I'm
book.
going to just take it for what you just said. Right, that circle of intrigue is how it began.
Absolutely.
But that circle of influence is how you started.
Absolutely.
Right, so I see what you did in that. You took Stephen Covey's book and said, okay, I was intrigued about this life.
Absolutely.
Right, the street life.
Absolutely.
And then you said, no, I'm finding that my circle of influence, I need to flip it.
Absolutely.
So now your circle of influence is homeboys.
Yeah.
And the people around you and the love that you give.
And Crop.
Right.
I don't know if you heard about Crop.
Absolutely.
You know about Crop?
I know the cats at Crop.
I'm in Crop, baby. Crop done grown a whole nother respect for me and love for me. I'm a part of that program right now.
Tell us about Crop.
Tell us about it.
So Crop is an IT program, and it started in prison with some individuals where they was lifers, and they had no vision of coming home or whatever the case may be. And they started this program, and it helps you learn IT tech, like technical, computer-wise and programming and stuff like that, whatnot. And basically, the program came to Homeboys. They introduced it. It's a year-long program, and it's a re-entry program. So a lot of these people that's in the Crop in my group, I'm in the first cohort that's out here in Los Angeles. It started out there in Oakland. This is the first time they brought it to L.A. So a lot of people that's out here in L.A. right now just got out of prison, and a lot of people on my group that's within this cohort just got out from doing long-term life sentences. Only been out 6, 7, 8 months.
Wow.
And it's just a blessing for me to be the youngest one within this group and the most active one within the streets right now that's learning and respecting these people on a whole different level, and they teaching me as I'm learning from them. And it's a year-long program. They pay you $1,000 a month. They help you build your credit, and at the end of it, you go through like a 4-month paid training program, and you're going to get set with the IT job. They give you all the skills that you need. Like I said, it's a program that's going to work if you work it. If you hungry, they got the food and the plate right there for you to eat.
Oh my God. Okay, so this is power. One, I mean, I still keep going back to women in technology, women in IT, power. And then I think Heidi De Leon, who we interviewed on our first season, she talked about, instead of having parole officers, we should be having case managers to link us to education and to like Crop, for example.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, how would you discuss that piece of Crop in terms of the focus of leading you to where you are today?
So Crop is doing the work where they're going back into the prisons. They're going out to like programs like Homeboy Industries, programs that assist with like people that's getting out into re-entry programs and letting them know like what things that like they assist and what they can help you with. So they're doing the footwork right now. And I would say, you absolutely right. You don't need a parole officer because a parole officer is going to set you with what you need to do instead of what I need for me.
Yes.
You telling me what you need from you.
Yeah.
But you ain't telling me what I need for myself.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's exactly where a counselor would come into play because you're going to look at downfalls and try to build me up in a sense instead of a person that's trying to keep me stagnated so you can keep constantly getting this paycheck.
Yes.
Like, let me get up out of here.
Yes.
But put me in a position where I'm going to get up out of here within this year that I got to have to get off of parole. And a lot of people don't know that. You only got to get them 13 months, 14 months. You get them clean 14 months, go to school, have a job, you off of parole. I don't care how much time you done did.
Yeah.
That's in the book. That's in the Title 15. That's in our law book. You read the dime, you're going to understand.
Okay, so many things. So, there's so many things in my head. So, we have met so many people from Homeboy Industries, Forestry and Fire Recruitment Program for this season, right? And a theme that keeps coming up is parole. How are you supposed to keep a job? How are you supposed to be in school, right? To be successful. In forestry and fire recruitment, they were like, I'm in a wildfire. How am I going back to the office?
Yeah.
So, that piece in terms of success of what you're wanting, what you're needing, and, really what would be helpful. That doesn't sound helpful to me.
Parole, I can speak on my experience with parole when I came home.
Yeah.
I came home in 2019, July, and within 4 months, I lost my auntie. She died from stage 4 cancer. I came to Homeboy Industries. When I came home, I didn't want to work at Homeboy Industries because I had this pride at this moment. Like, I did everything I can do at Homeboys. There's nothing that y'all can help me with. And I'm not about to wash nobody windows right now. So I went to the Work Source building down there, and I ended up meeting this lady named Trika Williams. And she was a Work Source development lady. And she got me hooked up with working with a post-production company that I used to work for before. But she set me up with this Warner Brothers training that they had with working on TV shows as being learning you how to be a PA. So I got to work on Issa Rae's production called Insecure. It was season 3 at the time, or season 4. It was like her last, before this season, the last season went on. I got to work on her as a PA. I excelled as being a PA. But the only problem was nobody knew I was on parole there. Nobody knew I just got off from doing 8.5 years in prison. Nobody knew nothing. But my parole officer kept saying she needed to come see me because we were working 16 hours. I can't come to the office. I ain't about to leave this job.
Right.
You said get a job. I got a job.
Right.
This 16 hours. So I can't come to your office when you need me. I can't tell these people no. It's a job.
Right.
So now I got to come see you. And she came and see me on the set one day. And I was so embarrassed because I had to tell one of the AD ladies, like, excuse me, ma'am, it's somebody got to get a pass to come on set to come see me, or I'm going to have to go off set. And she was like, you can't leave. I'm like, well, she going to have to come on set to come see me. And she was like, well, who is she? I said, she's my parole officer. And she said, I beg your pardon, your what? I said, man, I just got off from doing 8.5 years, and I need this lady to come see me. I got a job. I ain't trying to go back to prison. I just lost my auntie. This is all I got right now.
Yeah.
So it's either you going to let her come see me, or I'm going to have to give you this badge, and I'm going to have to go. And she looked at me, and she was like, I'll give her a pass. She gave this lady this pass, man. Lady come on set. She act like a goddamn groupie. She told me, oh, you work right here? Oh, this what you doing? Well, who you working for? And I need to meet him. I said, come on, man. You said you need to come to see me at my job.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not about to keep walking you around and all that, try to talk to my superiors and all that. Like, it's embarrassing enough. I had to tell this lady I'm on parole, and I just did 8 years.
Right.
They don't know that part of me. Her main thing was, I got to talk to somebody. Fuck my reputation or what I got to deal with at the end of the day. These are civilians, man.
Yeah.
In my mind, at that time.
Oh, yeah.
I paroled from SHU, sir. You know what I'm saying?
For those of you who don't know what SHU is.
If those of y'all that don't know what SHU is, it's a confinement place where it's just you and your mind. That's all you got is screaming sounds outside of this cell.
That's it.
That's all that you got. So mentally, that's where I'm at. And I parole from there to society. And you gonna tell me that I gotta take you to meet these people? And that's my only option. You can give me no other option. And at this time, I just got promoted with running first team. We're running main cast, running Issa Rae. So I had to go and tell them and knock on Issa Rae's door. And she come out jolly. What's going on, Lane? What's going on, Stephanie? I said, excuse me, Issa, I apologize. I got to do this to you, but my agent is right here, and she just want to make sure that this is really where I'm working at. And Issa looked and she said, she's my PA. And as a matter of fact, we about to go back on set in a couple of minutes, so is this done? Is this all that you need from her? And the lady just looking like, oh, yeah, I'm Issa Rae. She said, is this all that you need from her? But Issa felt it, and I appreciated that.
Yeah.
Right.
And at that moment, I was ready to give up. I was ready to leave. I was embarrassed. And every word in my mind just wanted to come and attack this lady, but I knew I still had to still work, and I couldn't go back to jail. You ain't put me back in that cell. I just got up out of there. And it was only because Prop 57 I got up out that cell. Because I never stayed without no 115. Prop 57 came into action. I couldn't get no early release for my case because I kept fucking up. I was doing a 24-month shoe turn. I done did a year right up free back there. The warden came and knocked at my window and told me, Lane, it's your lucky day. You going home in 30 days. What? 30 days? Well, let me go back to the yard because you know my mail and my shit. I ain't leaving this prison till I get my mail and my pictures and shit. Let me go back to the yard. Miss Esperanza. And she understood. She seen my granny and my auntie come drive every weekend. Come see me in a white suit with shackles on behind the glass for an hour just to make sure their baby was all right. So it's shit like that that replay with me every day. That it's my gas on why I could never fumble. I could never go back. So no matter what it is, I'm going to always strive and I'm going to keep being dedicated every day, no matter how hard this motherfucker get. I can't fumble. And I can't fumble for them because I got motherfuckers that's coming out and they looking at me for the win. And I'm they gas. Like, if Puka could do it, I could for sure do it. I've been a fuck up my whole life. I ain't never did nothing like this. I wasn't supposed to be meant to be doing nothing like this. You know what I'm saying? So I'm doing it for them. So when they get out, you can listen to their story. You can hear what they done went through. And you can understand where they at today. Because where I'm at today, I'm at peace. And I'm happy. And I'm content. And can't nobody take that from me. So I'm doing this for them. I'm doing it for my granny. I'm doing it for my auntie. And I'm doing it for the women every woman that's around in any state that's in the institution. Believe in yourself. That's it. Fuck what they said you was. Fuck what that packet say that you is. I got a whole book look like the yellow pages. But not one page up in there gonna tell you what I am today. So it don't matter because I believe in myself today. All that back then I didn't believe in myself, so that's what y'all got about me. That person that you didn't know. But the person I am today, you would never understand who I am. You ain't gonna read them pages, you gonna hear about this on my mama.
Yeah.
It's a whole different feeling. Like, in this organization, trauma, what y'all got going on with Elvia and stuff like that, and just giving this platform for women like me, men like you, to have a voice. We ain't never had no voice. We ain't had no option. And this is giving people that ain't never had that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I appreciate y'all, like, for really having me and having this conversation. I don't know, we probably went off the Richter on what we were probably supposed to say.
Your authenticity is just illuminating right now.
It's your authenticity, your heartbeat. You know, storytelling is powerful. It's liberating. And if you can get through it, then there's another woman who could be listening who's like, if she can get through it, I can get through it. And for the listeners that may not know what Prop 57 is, can you talk about that a little?
So Prop 57 was, it came into law, I want to say 2016 or 2017, something around there. But it had to do with like nonviolent offenders. So if you had a nonviolent offense, if you did your base term, so your base term was ever what your actual case was, not the enhancements. I got my time off of enhancements, gang enhancement, gun enhancements, and stuff like that. But my base term, I would have been out of prison. So Prop 57 was for that. They didn't tag you on your enhancements. It just allowed you, if you have already did your base term, you were up to be able to go to parole board hearing. But at that board hearing, you had to be in a pilot program inmate. You had to be in no 115s within a year. For me, that was impossible.
What's 115s?
115s is write-ups. Either 115 or 128. 128 is a chrono B that they'll put. So if you get two 128s, that considers as a serious 115, so they can take your privilege or they can take your date at that time. But me, I couldn't stay longer 6 days without probably getting a 115 or 128 or something like that. So me being confined, I didn't have no other option. I got tired. So I had no choice but to do good because I wanted to get up out of here and I wanted to go back to the yard to see my peoples. And in the midst of that, I ended up getting a paper. It was my time, my year had passed up. So every year that put you up for board. So at that time, my year had passed up and I had been back in the shoe for a year. And I didn't have no 115s. So I was up for board. So they had to take me back to committee. And when they took me to committee, I was up for early release. They had to grant it to me. So she let me out. She put me back on the yard. And by the grace of God, I ended up getting, my family didn't even, I called my granny about 2 days before I actually found out because I thought it was a joke. And I'm like, man, they really done gave me a ducket. I'm about this thing. Like, y'all better be at that gate or something. Somebody better come pick me up because I ain't taking no bus or whatever. So it's like, yeah, Prop 57 and what Ivy spoke on, like, the laws is real and it's really going into effect. I got friends now that was lifers, like that's been down since they was 19. A lady that raised me in prison, she got to Chowchilla when Chowchilla was made in 1992. She got there in 1993. She just paroled 2022. This lady been there that entire time. She ain't never left no other prison. She been stuck on that prison. That's where she was at, and that's where she was doomed, and that's where she mentally was stuck at. And she free today. She out here, and I get to see her. She come to my class on every Wednesday. Like, I love her to death, and just to be able to hug her out here in the free world to something that she's never imagined for her to even experience.
Yes.
So that's like, it's a blessing with these laws that's coming into play, like, because people's actually getting a second chance.
Yes. You know, it's so beautiful what you're saying. And it's funny, James and Damon, I want you both to chime in too. They both were paralegals inside.
Oh, that's what Ivy want to do. She want to be a paralegal.
Yeah, okay. So, with my 28 years of incarceration and being a former lifer myself, and still being on parole, I'm listening to you and I'm resonating everything that you're saying, And, what I come back to is education, right? How has education in your world played a part in your transformation?
Education is key. The only thing is I've educated myself. I've never, I didn't take those opportunities as in when people was coming like in college work and stuff like that. As I said, confined, they bring it to you. When I was on the yard, I was running them up. All I want to do was gang bang and make money. I didn't care about no school, but I was smart. I've always knew I've been smart. Like, it wasn't nothing you was going to surpass me with. But when I got confined, it was like, let me sit back here. Let me educate myself, read these books, ask for these books, or whatever the case may be. But education, when you inside, it has to be within yourself. If you don't want to educate yourself, you're going to be sitting there doing the same thing over and over again.
Right.
Like, it's only a handful of people that's on the yard that know that book, that know the title 115, that know the Dom. The Dom is a different type of book than that Title 15 that they give you.
Sure is.
Only
Actually, it's in volumes.
Yeah, so for people don't know what the DOM is, right? That's the director's operational manual, right? That's the governing body over the Title 15.
Thank you.
Right? And so when you look at this is what the director of corrections have set forth for prisoners.
Absolutely.
So that DOM trumps the Title 15.
Absolutely.
So if you understand the DOM,
that 115, that Title 15 ain't nothing to you, baby. You're going to maneuver through it.
Right. If you get it.
Right.
Exactly.
So your education is within the concrete university. You understand what I'm saying, right? Damon, you understand what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
Well, can you tell listeners what that means?
Well, we'll let Stephanie talk.
No, you
about
tell them what it is. I don't want to give them the wrong previous because you tell them the logistic part.
So concrete university is that you're street smart.
Absolutely.
You are above and beyond institutional smart. You're street smart. And a lot of times having that concrete university background is what's going to save your life when you're locked up.
Right.
And I could see it right now, Stephanie, you're a survivor.
Absolutely.
You're not one to say no, and you're not one to step back and say, you know what, I give up. And I can only imagine the courage that you experienced when you had to go and you tell, the producers, when your parole agent came on set, that I'm on parole. And I can't imagine what that's like. I bitch because I got to ask permission to go into Orange County, right? Whereas you're fighting for your life to keep your job. And you're doing it from a perspective that you're not going back. Nothing is going to make you go back. And so that concrete education that you developed when you were on the streets before you even went into prison is what makes up who you are today, which is why you're so powerful and which is why you are so meaningful at Homeboy Industries.
Thank you.
I think that ability to push through the pain, right? When you're sitting there and your PO, your parole agent is on their way, and you're saying, this is painful for me right now, but I care more about this outcome than I do about this immediate pain. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to push through the pain, and I'm going to tell somebody, look, I need to deal with this, right? So there's that assertiveness in you. And that same assertiveness is what you used when you got out. Yeah. I'm going to go work, even though I dismantled, you said a lot of things about Homeboys and how you felt. You said you had mud on your face.
Yeah.
So now when you go back and humble yourself, go to Homeboys and say, look, I'm here to be productive. I think that speaks volumes to where you are in your growth and development. And I commend you, because you identified it. You said, this is what it is. but this is where I want to be.
Absolutely.
And so now I'm giving it back to you, back to that Stephen Covey book.
And we the type of people, like, once you know, you can't unknow. You know what I'm saying? Like, and people like that come from like our community. And when I say our community, it's like people that share the same struggle, people that been. I could relate to him. I could relate to him way more than I could probably relate to you.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure I could relate to you way more than you thought that I'll ever be able to relate to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just know I could relate to them.
Yes.
It's a given.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm taking it from you though, and I'm gonna give it to you in the same token. So it's like in that mind state, I don't know. Like I'm just grateful, just as a woman that I am. Like in my street smarts, book smarts. Like I say, I'm a chameleon. I don't care where you put me at. And it's funny because we had a World Duty Free thing at Homeboy Industries, and I gave up there. I got up there and I started talking, and I don't ever say the right things, and I don't ever say the wrong thing. But I told Father Greg up there, I told them people, a lot of y'all in here, y'all got degrees, y'all masters, y'all doctors, and all type of stuff. But me at Homeboy Industries, I guarantee you I got skills like a motherfucker that y'all never be able to succeed. You know what I'm saying? We'll never be able to be in competition.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm always be a threat to you at, because you never know what I'm going to be able to be capable of. Because I got a whole different type of teaching that you was never raised with and you would never get.
Yeah.
So you just got to respect that. And you got and I got to respect that you got a whole different level of understanding and teaching that I probably never understand. But you could give me that book, though, and I bet you I could read it, and I know them words, and I'm going to define them words right along with you. You know what I'm saying? And that's like us, we chameleons. Now we able to adapt on any situation because of the struggle that we done went through. And that's just a blessing at the end of the day, and that's just a gift that I'm going to always forever be grateful with.
I mean, continuing to rise up as a woman inside, you know, is just so, you can feel it. Obviously, I could feel it as a woman to a woman as you were telling your story, and we've had very different walks of life. And I felt the pain. How do you not get a 115 for survival inside?
Yeah.
I can't imagine. And it's built so that you do get a 115. It's built so you are inside. It's built so everyone keeps getting their salaries and they're getting more positions.
Absolutely.
So as a woman, I see you and I feel you, and I appreciate you being here in so many ways.
You too. Thank you for having me.
Yes.
That's so sweet.
You know, Stephanie, you have been an absolute treasure just to talk to and listen. And you have an infectious energy about you that, you know, if I'm coming out of prison, I want to come see you.
Yeah.
We going to get the job done.
I mean, I'm a case manager during the day too, right?
Yes,
and I'm learning from you just listening to what you are talking about. Your energy is transforming to me.
Yeah.
You know, and I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my
thank
heart.
you. I appreciate you
because,
having me.
you know, when you're talking about the shoe, I'm thinking about when I was in the shoe. And, you know, I'm light years away from that, even though I'm still on parole. And I can see that you're light years from that, too, you know. So before we close, Damon, you have a few words you would like to say before we close out?
Yeah, I think I want to say that. So that shoe, that segregated housing experience, it didn't define us. It refined us.
Oh, it humbled me
right?
completely.
Yeah, but you came out humbled and hungry.
Yeah, very
right?
much so.
And you know that phrase, right? So now, based on that and those principles, you instill those that we left behind, right? So there's some separation anxiety. You left some people, some good people inside.
Absolutely.
And now as you see them transitioning back to you and you want to reach back and give them, I want you to give them that because you know what it took for you to get to this point and you know what it takes for them to move forward. And that insight is invaluable. And I need you to keep doing that.
I got you.
Right? I need that. Because I love it.
Thank you. I appreciate
Especially
you.
when we're dealing with female formerly incarcerated.
Absolutely.
Because there is an understanding that nobody else can give
Absolutely.
for you. So I
To
think
stop it with the female, you gonna stop. Like you gonna stop. You just stop it because there's so many women that's going behind these walls. Like and then they got these kids that these kids is looking up to. You gonna stop this cycle. We're not like injustice for women. Even right now, we're closing the juvenile halls and the women's juvenile halls. Like it's so much of an injustice for women. Like not saying that men deserve to be in jail, but women.
Right.
It's a whole different psychological type setup that'll go into with like locking up a woman.
Right.
Like these women is be able to rebirth. These women is be able to strive with. These women grow and make all type of things like with these kids at the end of the day. So you can find a woman, you can find her mind, you can find her being, you can find her worth. Like I told you. It starts with worth and believing at the end of the day. And once we get back to that, we're going to be untouchable.
that's it.
No matter where you at. I don't care if you're in a cell doing 24 hours. Believe within yourself and know that you are worthy. Because eventually you're going to get up out that cell.
Right.
And once you get up out that cell, you're going to be like me. They're going to get tired of you. But they can't do nothing without it. We here. It's stuck.
Stephanie, when I'm sitting here listening to you, I keep thinking it's not that you're a blessing in disguise. You're a blessing on the rise.
Thank you.
Oh, yes.
And you have been just an absolute blessing today on Our Stories Matter.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
And, I could sit here and listen to you for a very long time. You have a lot of wisdom.
Yes.
A lot of wisdom. I'm really proud of the fact that you have that courage built inside of you, because that's what makes up who you are.
Thank you.
And I'm just so proud to be able to get to know you and meet you today and have this conversation.
Absolutely, me too. I'm happy I signed up with Elvia. She just asked me out the like, hey, would you do this podcast? And I'm like, I guess I'll do anything for you. So sure, I'll do it. So,
and we send our love to Ivy too. So.
I salute my dogs. That's my dog. I love Ivy.
Our last question is, what was it like for you to tell your story today?
It was very comfortable. Like to be, like I said, I listened to you guys' podcast before this. When I understood your story, I didn't know too much about you. So hearing that you was like incarcerated, it was like, oh, I got some buddies right now. I thought it was gonna be like, for me, it's like I can't relate if I don't got nothing relatable back.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And this is like a comfortable space. Like you can't tell me something if you ain't been through the struggle with me. I can't have a conversation with you fully and be like within myself if you ain't never really like experienced that, because I don't need nobody to feel sorry for me. Sorry, not sorry. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It happened. It is what it is. But today, I'm comfortable. Like, I'm content. You feel me? And I feel like I'm at home. So today, this being experience, being able to talk on this podcast, I'm comfortable. I can't lie to you. I'm very comfortable. I'm in a space for people that I feel that share the same struggle as me. And I don't feel no judgment. And I appreciate it.
No judgment.
Love it.
We see you, and we appreciate you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for being here.
Our Stories Matter is brought to you by Trauma Informed Los Angeles. We want to thank Homeboy Industries and the Forestry and Fire Recruitment Program for sharing their experiences and opening their doors and hearts to us. Thank you also to Fabian DeBora for allowing us to record at Homeboy's Art Academy. Thank you also to the University of Southern California Good Neighbors, and thank you to Yehuda Price for composing our original music while incarcerated. Thank you, Ivan Reyes, our amazing editor. Please consider giving us a review with a 5-star shout-out. Subscribe to Our Stories Matter wherever you get your podcasts. Join our trauma-informed Los Angeles community at traumainformedla.org. Please go to our website to read the full bios and credits. Join us next week and stay tuned for more Our Stories Matter.
We would like to take a moment to acknowledge the original stewards of the land where our event takes place today. Trauma Informed Los Angeles acknowledges the Gabrielino Tongva people as the traditional land caretakers of the Tavangar, which today is the Los Angeles Basin and Channel Islands. We are committed to uplifting the names and community members of these lands and across the nation who reside alongside us. We also want to acknowledge the suffering and forced unpaid labor of enslaved Africans and African Americans, which enabled the start of this country.